Hi everyone, my name is Maddie, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first ever Booktube birthday tag. So, not quite today, 2 days ago was my first Booktube birthday. I wanted to film this then, but I decided to give myself a few days off as it's my week of annual leave from work at the moment and I didn't want to film. So I'm filming it a couple days later and this will go up a few days later than that, but that's fine. But I have been on Booktube for 1 year basically, which I'm realising now is answering the first question. But anyway, I thought now would be a good time to do the Booktube birthday tag by Joe from Average Joe Reads, who I will of course link down below and I'll link the original video. And this is just a super fun tag kind of talking about what the last year on Booktube has been like, and I thought it'd be a bit of a laugh. Probably be quite a quick one, who knows, I am very good at rambling on. But we're gonna get straight into it and just start with the questions, but I guess I'm probably gonna answer one of the questions by saying this early. But before we start, just a massive thank you to every single person who is here, who has been here for the last year or has been here for the last day or joins after this video goes up. Like, the support is beyond appreciated. This year has been so much more than I ever could have anticipated in my wildest dreams. So thank you. But we're gonna get into the questions now. So the first question, as I kind of already answered, is how many years on Booktube are you celebrating? Technically 1. Well, technically more, but I'll explain. So I officially, in my head, launched on Booktube June 1st, 2020. Bit of a lockdown project, bit of an end of uni, didn't want to focus on my dissertation project. So that is what I'm classing as my Booktube birthday. That was when I very much officially decided I was doing this properly. I did have a smattering of videos about 2 years before that, which I did, but that never really came to anything. It was just a case of I had a little bit of spare time in second year, started it, realised I did not have enough time whilst at uni, so stopped it. But my official start of my Booktube channel, when it was branded properly as what I wanted it to be, and I committed to doing it properly and putting the time and the effort in, was a year ago. So that is my Booktube birthday, and I'm ignoring the 8 videos that existed before that, almost all of which are now private and you can't see them anyway. So yes, first birthday, first Booktube anniversary. I cannot believe it's been a year. It both feels like I've been doing this forever and like I've been doing it for about 5 minutes. I can't believe I've been doing this for a full year. A year's a long time. That's crazy. Okay, the second question is what has kept you motivated to keep making videos? And I find this so funny because my motivation I feel like lacks so often. 2 things, I guess. The first is just a genuine love of doing it. I love talking about books. I love having people to talk to about books. We're gonna make it 3 things. This is number 1. So yeah, my love of books, my want to talk about books is definitely a big thing. I think also doing Booktube has made me love reading even more. And so like, I feel like the 2 feed each other. The more I talk about books and videos, the more I feel like reading and enjoy reading, and it just like, they keep going. So I want to keep going with both so that I can keep enjoying both. The second thing is not dissimilar, but it's watching other people's content and also making friends in the community has been a huge motivator for me. At the beginning, it feels like you're just putting kind of videos out into the void and it's quite difficult. You're not necessarily getting interaction on the videos, you don't have people to chat to about it. It can be quite hard. But once I started making friends, which for me actually happened pretty quickly, I made friends with Katie from Brightness Katie Reads pretty early on. And then obviously Spooks and Ro in India also within like the first couple months, and then a bit later Steph and Jade and Ashley and Becca and everyone else. Once that started happening, it truly started to feel like a community and like we're all doing the same thing and there's people to chat to about it and bounce ideas off of, and when you're not feeling like filming there's people to yell at you like go film or you'll regret it when you have to edit at 2 AM. So I think the community is probably the biggest motivator for me to keep going, and having friends in the community I think is, yeah, probably the biggest thing. But then the third one is just a genuine enjoyment for making videos, the actual whole process. Filming's normally the bit I don't love because I have to make myself presentable, which is always a pain. And I'm normally like too tired to do energy and all of this, and then I sit down and I really enjoy it and the energy is completely natural, but convincing myself of that always takes me a good minute / 2 days. But the editing process and making a thumbnail and thinking about how you're going to design a video to make it interesting, I say that as if I actually plan things more than sitting down and starting spouting words and seeing what happens. But all of that to me is just so fascinating and I love doing it. And yeah, more than anything it's actually editing. I just really enjoy the process of seeing me tripping over my words for 40 minutes become a decently polished things, normally with mistakes, that I can actually put out on the internet. It's just cool to see and I enjoy doing it, so that's another motivator for me. I just like doing it as a process and I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. The third question is, what are 3 of your favourite videos you've made in the last year and why did you enjoy them? I have 3 in mind. I have more than 3 in mind, but we're gonna split it up into 3 categories because I just, trust me on this. So first category, which I'm not even gonna pick out a specific video because it is just a category, and that's Dart Attack. I don't know which one's my favourite, whether it's the first one because it was the first one. The Booktube one was really good fun. There's been some where I ended up with like 12 books and those were hilarious. There's been some where it just went really well and those were also good. Like, I don't know which one of them I would put as my favourite because I love every single one when I make it, but Dart Attack as a whole thing is absolutely up there with the best thing I've done on this channel. I love it so much. I'm so proud of it. And I love how much you guys love it as well. That's always an added bonus. So that's probably, you know, top spot. Second spot is probably, I've got 2 vlogs in mind that I really like, one of which did well, one really didn't, but I love it anyway. The first is my 7 books in 7 days challenge. That was just so much fun to film and such a good challenge for me to do, to see if I could do that, because like I'm quite confident that I could read a book in a day. I've done that a load of times and I quite enjoy doing it. I'll regularly like not read for a week and then read a whole book in a day. It works very well for how I function as a human, doing things in very short, sharp bursts. I'm not good at sustaining things. So even with like content, I won't do anything for 2 weeks, then I'll make 6 videos in a weekend and then just leave them all going. It's just, I like doing things in those really short sections. So I was really interested to see if I could keep that short, sharp energy going for a whole week. Didn't quite make it, but got very close. But that was a really fun video to film. And then the other one I just love is from the beginning of this year, is my Fever Wake duology vlog, where I read The Fever King and The Electric Air by Victoria Lee. I had such a good time reading those books and making that video. I was really happy with how the video came out. And Victoria Lee watched it and like commented and said she really enjoyed it. So that was kind of surreal and kind of freaking cool. So that's another thing that was really up there. I kind of know I've already listed 3, but we're gonna list something else. And that is, it's again, an odd one because it's not necessarily the video itself that I love, but it's what came out of it. And that is the WHATEVER-YOU-WANT announcement video. I've announced book clubs and read-alongs and all sorts throughout my time on Booktube, and all of them have been really exciting and I've had a fantastic time with all of it. But the response to the WHATEVER-YOU-WANT announcement, it's my 2nd most viewed video on my channel. Like, it's insane and is just incredible to see. And it's like a few days into WHATEVER-YOU-WANT when I'm filming this, because WHATEVER-YOU-WANT kicked off on my Booktube anniversary, because I like making things all like come together really nicely. But having my Booktube birthday on the same day as seeing thousands of people reading books because of something I suggested is utterly surreal and utterly amazing. So I feel like making that video is definitely up there in memories from the year. Question 4 is, what have you struggled with on Booktube in the past year and how did you overcome that struggle? The biggest struggle for me is kind of 2 sides of the same coin. One being my motivation to keep making videos when I'm exhausted and having the time to make videos because of, especially since January, since my job. It's really hard. It's really hard. Booktube takes a lot of time. For anyone who doesn't know, I probably spend a minimum of 20 hours a week putting out the content that I do. Probably slightly less now, I've moved down to 2 videos a week, but it's a lot of hours. It's not, you know, an hour per video kind of thing. It's a huge amount going on behind the scenes. And juggling that along with a part-time job, I wish, along with a full-time job, is really difficult and really exhausting. And it's very difficult to find the motivation when I've just worked like a 50-60 hour week and I get home on a Friday and I pass out and I wake up on Saturday morning and I'm like, I could either stay in bed all day, curl up with a book, do nothing, or I could get up and start work again in a different way. And it's really hard to do that. But I think suggesting things for other people is really hard on this because I'm still struggling with it. Again, I think it's the short, sharp bursts for me. I'm quite good at saying like, okay, well, if I get up and do that this weekend and do 2 really long days of work, don't read and just do it, I then have like a weekend or 2 completely free where I can see people and I can read and I can do what I want. And that's working quite well for me as a kind of routine at the moment. So I have like one really intensive weekend, which means I do have basically like a, 12-day working week, because I have 5 days, 2 days of YouTube, 5 days. But I can do that intensity because then I get like a couple weekends off, and it works quite well for me. So I think finding that schedule has helped. And I think as well, realizing that I'm the only person who notices how often I upload and what days I upload on. So if I miss a video or go off my schedule, like, no one cares other than me, and I do care, and that does matter, and I do want to not let myself down, but it's like no one cares. It's fine, I can get away with it, and I'll put out as much content as I can, as often as I can, because I like to and I want to for all of you. But I think, yeah, taking that pressure off myself by being like, mate, no one else cares, just do what you want when you want to do it, that has definitely also helped. Question 5 is choose one moment from the past year on Booktube you would like to relive. And I think going back to like having the community, I think the moment I would choose for this, and this is ignoring like amazing premieres I've done for Dart Attack and WHATEVER-YOU-WANT and things like that, and fun live shows, the one that really stands out to me was my 1K live show, game show kind of thing. Because that was the first time I met most of my friends on Booktube. So I guess people won't know the behind the scenes of this. Katie I knew quite well, and I chatted to quite a lot, I texted quite a lot. And then like I started getting to know India a bit, and I started getting to know Ro a little bit. And then Spoops I'd barely spoken to at this point, like barely. And I had 1K coming up, and I wanted to do a game show, kind of live show, party games, fun thing. Which you can still watch, it's still on my channel. And I just put them all in a group chat and was like, you know what, I'm doing this live show, who wants to be on it? And they all said yes. And it was insane. None of us had ever spoken in person before that. That was the first time we were all meeting each other. I think we all joined like 10 minutes beforehand so we could have a very quick chat before going live. And the fact that those are now some of my absolute closest friends in life is a little bit nuts in a really cool way. So I think that's probably one of the top moments. And I'm not going to say too much because this might be going up before you guys have seen it, but there is another moment coming up very soon that would rival that, but it's not technically within my first year, so you don't get to see it. You'll see it in a video in like 2 days, or this will have gone up after and you'll already know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think that is the moment. And similarly, the first time I was on a live stream with Steph and Jade, because like straight after that I had friends in Steph and Jade, which was incredible, and I met Pris through them. And as I said, the community side of things and having a group of friends is so huge for me. I've spoken about this before. I've never been someone who has a huge group of friends. I actually have 3 long-term friends, kind of 4, but kind of 3, just due to when I can contact people. And that's always been fine by me. None of them know each other. They're all completely separate from each other, and that's been fine. But I've never been someone who has like a group of friends. So having a group of friends who all know each other and like we all are in it's just madness and incredible, and I kind of love it, and I can't believe that the internet is where I finally ended up getting that. But it is what it is. So yes, that first 1K live stream, my first ever live show, maybe. I think I may have done like the FAES and Gaze one before it, but that may have been my first ever live show, to be honest. And I met some of my closest friends. So that was pretty cool. And then question 6 is to shout out one huge supporter of your channel. I'm going to ignore it and shout out more than one. The first, obviously the list of people I have to list are Spoops and Ro and India and Steph and Jade and all of my really close friends on Booktube. They have been such huge supporters, you know, vocally on like helping promote my videos and being excited for me when things happen. But it's behind the scenes, it's the small things like India, and like it's all different. So like Spoops and Ro are when, you know, I don't want to film, they yell at me to film. Steph and Jade are when I have a video idea and I'm not sure if it's shit, or I don't have any ideas at all, and they help. And India is when I'm obsessing over really small stats and numbers. She pulls my head out of my arse, but then also is excited when we do hit small goals in stats and numbers, because it is important, it's something we care about. And that support from behind the scenes is just completely invaluable, and I wouldn't have continued my channel without that, I don't think. But the other person I want to shout out, someone I've not spoken to in a while, is Alex from Twitter. And this is so rogue, but I have never had someone support me that wholeheartedly, and just it's amazing. And I need to message you, we need to catch up, but the way you just reply to everything and we interacted so much and you were so supportive, like you were, I think, the first subscriber I knew by name, and had like consistently been on my videos and on my Twitter enough that I could pick you out as like someone who watched my content. And that was kind of nuts and kind of really freaking cool. So thank you for that. And yeah, Alex, thanks. If you're watching this, thanks. You're probably not, but you know. The next question is a truly evil question, and that is, what is the best book you've read in the past year? We're gonna go with two. One is The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harriott, which I can't bother to get off my shelves, but it's just there. Phenomenal, amazing. I have a whole video reading it. Hey, promote my own videos. It's so good. It's so good. One of my favorites of all time, and just amazing. And then the other is The Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. I also have a video reading that, along with lots of other books, but I did read it and speak a lot about it. Also phenomenal, so please check out those two books. Psalm for a Wild Built is out in like a month, it's not out yet, but they are both amazing and I would highly, highly, highly recommend them. Question 8 is, where do you see your channel in a year's time and what do you hope to have achieved? And I don't know how to answer this, because if I had answered this a year ago, my answer would have been so far off what has actually happened, and I just no longer trust my own judgment. So just to let you guys know, when I started this channel, 1st of June, a year ago, I had a goal of maybe an absolute stretch hitting 1,000 subscribers within a year. I'm gonna hit 9,000 subscribers today, 3 days after my Booktube birthday. So it's safe to say I slightly underestimated, and I've said this before and I will say it again, it is a huge amount of luck. It is not quality, it is not anything, it is luck. So much of that is luck. I am exceedingly, exceedingly lucky that my channel was getting a decent bit of momentum by itself somehow, and then I really started Attack, and I was, again, extremely lucky that people like Becca and Gav and Jade saw it and liked it and shared it, and that brought such a huge influx of people to my channel. And then around December I had a video, my journaling video went a teensy bit viral for some reason. I think it's on like 90,000 views now or something utterly bloody stupid, and that again brought a huge influx of people to my channel. So it is so much luck that those two things took off. Like, yes, there's been consistent growth and all of that, but I am not going to sit here and say like, oh, it's completely everything I did that got me here. Like, absolutely not. It's so much luck goes into it that is I have no control over. So in terms of where I'd like to be next year, I don't know. I don't have a clue. I think the biggest goal for me is being in a point where I feel like I can make consistent content with my job without it feeling like a huge stress, and like have got into a rhythm with both of those things so that I can keep up with both, because that's definitely a really hard thing at the moment and definitely something I would really, really, really like to get to. So I think that would be probably, you know, top of the list if I'm honest. And then what else? And then I guess similar to that is loving all the content I make. I still have a struggle quite a lot where I can't think of what videos I want to film. Vlogging's difficult for me just due to the nature of my job. I struggle to read during the week, so I struggle to vlog during the week. And then on weekends, when I am reading, I want to use it as downtime. I don't want to have a camera in my face necessarily. And so without vlogging, I have to find more sit-down videos to do, and I'm not the most creative person, so I struggle for ideas a bit. I would love to get to a point where I'm like more planned out and feeling more creative and less like I'm scrambling for ideas just before a video needs to go up, and that I've actually like got things ready to go. Would be really nice. In terms of a like subscriber goal, I'm not setting one. I can't even begin to predict. I mean, for all I know, I'll get too stressed out of my job and have to take 2 months off and a month, whatever. Like I can't even predict. Like, and also I love hitting milestones. I don't set goals for when I want to hit them generally. Like I did obviously with my 1K in a year, but I just don't do it because I know so much of it is luck and something you have no control over. Like you can make the best, most consistent content and for some reason you may just get no traction, or you might make one random video that goes mad and you get loads. So I don't like saying like, you know, I want to hit 10K by this date, or God, it sounds stupid, but 15K by this date or whatever. because I have no control over that. That is completely outside of anything I have control over, and all I'm doing is setting myself up for disappointment, so I just don't tend to do it, to be honest. Not saying anyone else shouldn't. I absolutely have set goals myself many, many, many times, and I really enjoy doing it, but at the moment I don't feel like I can set a realistic or educated goal, and so it feels like I'm just gonna set myself up to be sad if I don't hit it, which I don't want to do. And then the final question is to tag someone whose anniversary is coming up, and I can safely say I don't have a clue. I have no idea when anyone's anniversary is coming up. I feel like Rose could be soon. It may have already passed. I know Spoops has passed not long ago. India, maybe soon, maybe just passed. We all started within a few months of each other and I have no idea in what order. So, as always, Jen will tag for anyone whose anniversary is coming up or who anyone just wants to do this video. I feel like it's fun to do on Booktube birthdays, but you could absolutely do this at any point in the year, as just like, kicked my camera there, as just reflecting on the last year of Booktube for you, so anyone who wants to do it, feel free. But that is it for the video. I, again, just thank you so much for everything. Like, I probably would have continued Booktube irrelevant of growth and people and all of this, because I just enjoy doing it. But I'm not gonna lie and say it's not a factor, and one of the reasons I've been so committed to trying to do my 3 videos a month, if only, 3 videos a week, though it has now finally moved down to 2. But the reason I've been so committed to doing that and keeping up with my content and doing everything that I can is genuinely a case of I know there are people out there who want to see it. It is very, very easy for me personally to demotivate myself without like a target, and knowing that I have, you know, a few thousand people waiting for my videos, or at least hoping, I guess, to see my videos, which sounds so conceited to say, but I know what I feel like when I subscribe to someone, so I'm just taking the assumption that people feel similarly. But knowing that, it gives me the motivation to do it, and it makes me hold myself accountable and not get away with being like, oh, well, I could just not do this video. So thank you for that, because it is genuinely appreciated, and I want to keep doing this, and if it takes a little bit of external validation to keep me doing it, then so be it when I'm tired and exhausted and don't want to film, like today and every day this week, because I want to collapse in a heap. But I do genuinely love doing it, and I'm so glad that people do enjoy my content and enjoy seeing my face. I don't get it, but I'm glad. But that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling now because we're gonna get real sappy real soon if I don't shut up. So thank you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below. This is the most conceited thing I've ever said in my life, but we're gonna say it anyway. Let me know what your favorite video has been that I've made. I'm so intrigued. So what is your favorite video from the past year that I've made? This is so conceited, I hate it, but I'm really nosy. That's it, we're done. Links below, you know where they are. Bye, I'll see you in the next one.